Hi, my name is Dude Frank. I'm the CTO at Comply365. Today we're going to be talking about making the cloud easier, even easier than it already is. And at Comply365, we're a SaaS solution. We're already set up in the cloud, and so we're focused in on working with Citrix and the different aspects that they have to offer. And we've really focused in on Zen Mobile and Zen App for our integration aspects. And so we're helping to make the cloud even easier through the combination of our solutions as well as with Citrix. A little bit about Comply365. We were founded in 2007, got over 200,000 users in our SaaS solution. And we focus in on the enterprise operations and mobility of your organization, making your workforce more mobile and getting that information out there in a secure fashion, and being able to not only get it out there, but get that information returned back to headquarters and being able to process that data through business intelligence, analytics, and other things like that. We're really thought leaders in the enterprise mobility space. If you think about with the aviation is where one of our core technologies was born out of, is the pilots. If you've seen them go around and they're carrying two bags with them. One is their clothes typically, and the second one is their manuals. It's all of their books and everything that they have to reference while they're in flight. So now that you've seen that they're flying with different devices, whether it be an iPad or an Android device or even a Windows device, they're flying with those instead of their manuals. And it's our software that helps enable them to do that, because we're delivering their manuals out, getting a confirmation sign-off, so we know that everything is current and active and is exactly what they need to be referencing while they're doing their job. So we have a full suite of products, 3 different suites actually. One's a productivity suite that's focusing in on your documentation. That's DCM is Document Communication Manager, that's distributing out the manuals, receiving that confirmation back. We also have workflow tools, the forms that I mentioned, and also we have a secured chat session called ProChat. Another suite is our training suite. We've got a full LMS that is available, also scenario-based training tools so that you can do evaluations on individuals as they're performing their job, and you can grade them and then track how everybody's performance is and how your training program is as a whole. And then we also have a scheduling tool so that you can be able to help facilitate and accommodate building out all those schedules. And then the third area is the safety suite. So we also have a safety management system, or some industries call it a risk mitigation, risk management system, but everybody has one, and it's all around whatever your regulations are that you have to answer to, whether it's OSHA or FDA, FAA, any of those types of regulatory issues. Also within the safety suite, we have a QA tool so that you can perform your quality assurance audits and be able to get that data back in and processing through. Again, I mentioned that we're in the aviation space, and we're also working within the financial space and insurance, oil and gas, energy, healthcare, education, sports and entertainment, retail, and it continues to expand on a daily basis. So what are the problems that we're hearing from our clients? And this is really one of the biggest reasons that we've partnered up with Citrix, is that it's very important to us what our clients are saying and what the issues are that they're dealing with. And I'm sure you've heard even throughout the sessions here at Synergy, but Citrix is very focused in on hearing from the customer as well, and making sure to take their advice and being able to input that in there so that the Citrix products can be easier to use and be able to move forward as well. And what's been great in that relationship between Comply365 and Citrix is having that joint focus of fixing customer problems, but also being able to implement that. And Citrix has also taken that same philosophy and working with us as a partner, and working with us with the SDKs and the APIs, and working together to integrate our two solutions. And it's been a great philosophy to have. So many of the problems that we've been hearing is that the clients need MDM capabilities to manage devices across the entire enterprise and have it to be flexible, have that flexibility to manage the devices with many different models, whether it's BYOD or a company issued or a stipend model, and just being able to focus in on that. And Zen Mobile is a great solution to be able to do that with, and we focused with Citrix to be able to do that because we looked across the landscape of the different MDMs that were out there, and many of the competitors to Zen Mobile, they all were they can do basic functions of what the MDM does, but Zen Mobile was able to take it to a next level, and Zen Mobile was in the upper right-hand quadrant of the Gartner report, and being able to move forward and focus in more directly on what the clients want and what they need. And so with Zen Mobile, you're familiar with the MDM products and tools, you'll be able to manage those devices and everything, but we took it a step further because Citrix not only has the on-premise Zen Mobile solution, they also have the cloud version of the Zen Mobile solution, and we are a CSP partner. And so what we've done with the CSP partnership is, because we are a SaaS solution, we have our own cloud infrastructure. We've decided to work with Citrix and use Citrix as a platform within our own cloud infrastructure. So we can take those CSP Zen Mobile Cloud licenses, deploy those servers directly within our cloud infrastructure, which gives us more control and maintainability and workability with the client to be able to deliver a better solution and a better product than most MDMs are able to do because of the different challenges that they may have. So one example is, because of having it stood up in our environment, many MDMs are able to control when a application hits their MDM, and then they can control when it goes out to the mass of the enterprise. However, we can take it one step further, and by working directly with Citrix to establish this, but also because we have that Zen Mobile set up in our environment, we can help control with our application that the application is not only when it goes out to the entire enterprise, but if you want to go out to subset of groups and roll it out in a staged platform, because we have that set up in our cloud environment, we can help give you that extra control and availability to the app. So not only manage those devices, but also manage the apps, just as I was describing. We also needed a solution that was affordable, scalable, and flexible. So being that Zen Mobile is a cloud solution, you can call in and you can order 100 licenses, and then 3 months down the road, as you're doing a staged rollout, you can add another 300, another 500, another 700, until you get your full enterprise fully deployed. So with an on-premise solution, a lot of times you just want to get it in there going, and then you have the staged rollout, and so you're losing some of that ROI because you've got unused licenses until you get fully rolled out. In addition, because it's in our cloud, you're not spinning up servers, you're not dedicating IT resources to it, and you're just managing it directly with us in our cloud, and you're not having to dedicate all those things. So some of the integrations, let me speak of what we've done with that and working with the Citrix team and the API. So with Zen Mobile, we've done a couple different levels of integration. First of all, I'll talk about for the administrator of Zen Mobile. It's a really simple integration, but we do a single sign-on SSO, so that when you log into the Comply365 site and you're an administrator of Zen Mobile, in the left-hand menu when you're looking at all of your administrative functions on your Comply365 site, you'll see devices, and then you'll see My Mobile 365, which is giving you device control over our application on each of the devices, and then you would see Zen Mobile. And then that Zen Mobile link takes the administrator and launches them directly into the Zen Mobile application. So now you're seeing the entire Zen Mobile interface to manage all of the mobile devices through that integration with a single sign-on. Additionally, one thing that's a little more unique is we've done a user integration so that we've heard that there's users that they would lose their device, and then they're embarrassed or scared to report that they've lost their device. And so in order to do that, they hold off for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they just can't find it, and then they finally call into the admin desk and they say, you know what, I lost my device. Well, your data has now been exposed for at least 3 weeks because that person was embarrassed that they lost their device. So what we did was we took and hooked up with the SDK team at Citrix, and we built into our interface from the user level that they have a My Devices menu, and they can click on that. It goes and it'll list out all their devices. We pull over things like the IMEI, the unique identifier of the device itself, what platform that device is running, so you can help identify if it's an iPad or an Android device or whatever. And then it's dedicated directly to them, and we're getting that information from Zen Mobile and feeding it back and forth. And then through our interface at the user level, the user has a lock and a wipe function. So those two commands are sent directly over to Zen Mobile, and from the user aspect, they can go in and lock their device without calling the admin help desk, saving the embarrassment of reporting I've lost my device, but they can lock it to help secure the enterprise data that's on that device so that it's not being fully exposed. And it helps give you that level of insurance that your information is more secured. And by giving the user these commands, they can, on an Android device, you can actually change the PIN code for logging into the device, so it gives you an extra level of security so that when that user initiates that command, they can even select their own PIN code that they want to put in, or will auto-generate a PIN code that would be sent out to the device when it's locked down, so that even if the PIN code got compromised, at least on an Android device, you could change that PIN code and that would not be known to whoever it got lost or stolen with. And then on the wipe command, that does a factory default wipe of the entire device. So everything that's on that device just resets it back to a factory default, and you've got full security that nothing is there because it's done a full factory wipe. Now those two commands are typically not initiated by the user. That's usually commands sent out by the Zen Mobile administrator. But by doing that integration and working with the SDKs and passing that information back and forth, the user is able to do that entirely within our application, not have any exposure to the Zen Mobile administrator menu, and still be able to perform those functions to help keep your data secure. Additionally, another integration I'll talk about further on the Zen app side for mobile when I get into next. But being able to have that information locked down and secure, and then having the assurance that your information is not being exposed out there. Another one that we've identified and have been working with is by utilizing Zen app. So Zen app, again, in our cloud infrastructure, so using Citrix as a platform, some of the problems that we were hearing is that our clients were having these large, very rich file types that were complex materials, documentation, whether it's manuals that have 3D graphics or several different layers like wiring diagrams, or additional things like heavy laden videos that just going to really drain the bandwidth, or just these large complex materials that typically a mobile device is not going to have capability of handling. So then we set up Zen app within our cloud infrastructure, and we're able to deliver those complex file types out to the mobile device for visibility and usage. A second one is with on-premise solutions. That's another one of the problems. Again, we spoke about having to spin up new servers and everything, and our cloud infrastructure handles that. But in those on-premise solutions, oftentimes accessing those is difficult through complicated VPN systems. And again, it's through establishing the security of that data that these complicated VPNs are stood up. However, oftentimes the end users have difficulties navigating all the security layers that we as IT folks have to set up in order to protect the data. And so those are some situations that become difficult, and then handling the bandwidth. So with Zen app, we're using to deliver all of the client-side information that is needed to go out for these complex materials. So a couple different scenarios is on the mobile side, we've got aviation mechanics who need to reference 3D documentation, and instead of being stuck behind a desk or having some type of desk area that is wheelable around with a laptop or a PC or whatever, just to get the bandwidth capability to have access to those documents, we took Zen app, and from our cloud infrastructure are now delivering those rich materials, these 3D graphics, these layered documents out to the mechanics with a tablet as they're standing next to the aircraft, so that they're looking directly at the part that they're working on, and they're manipulating the 3D diagram or the different layers as they're peeling off the layers of a wiring diagram, so that they can get down to the exact thing that they're working on. And we can do that by utilizing Zen app to deliver that out. Additionally, we do have those individuals who do have dedicated work desks that are editing those same manuals. However, some of the solutions that they need to use to edit those manuals, again, are dedicated on-premise only solutions, and they're wanting to move their infrastructure more out to the cloud. And so what we can do with that is we do have a content editor within our tool, and then layered with that is some of these more complex editing tools that we spin up on a Zen server inside of our cloud infrastructure, and then use Zen app to deliver the client-side application that the end user is actually editing the documents through and then transmitting the data back to the server. So we're taking that on-premise solution, putting it in the secured cloud infrastructure that we already have stood up, and then by having everything within our cloud, more tightly being able to integrate our solution directly in there so that your end users have a single point of contact, a single entry point into all the systems and stuff that they need to access for doing their jobs on a day-to-day basis, whether it's at a PC, a Mac, an Android tablet, an iPad tablet, a Windows tablet. It doesn't matter what device they're using, they're able to access everything that they need to access all at the same time through those different devices. So wanted to say thank you for taking the time to stop by and listen to what I had to say about this. If you want to see these integrations, we're at booth 409 on the other side of the coffee bar over there. But before we all leave, I just wanted to point out a couple different things because Citrix has done a great job working with us. It's been a great partnership, a great relationship working through these SDKs and APIs to build out these different integrations. And so if you're an engineer or developer in here and a partner of Citrix and you want to be able to work with some of these things, encourage you to check out the Citrix developer website, developer.citrix.com. There's going to be a lot of resources out there. Many videos are going to be posted about aiding what you need to do with your solutions there. Also check out the Citrix Developer Exchange. Again, a lot of information is going to be there made available for you to, just like with us, and being able to work with Citrix and get it all put together. It'll be there for you as well within your environments. And Citrix as a team, it's spelled out here that they're working hard to improve their SDKs and APIs and tools, and I can stand here and attest to that because it's been a great opportunity, a great relationship working back and forth. We've worked with many other vendors, many other partners, and this has probably been one of the easiest integrations and development efforts, co-development efforts that we've had in working on the different solutions, and we look forward to many more enhancements and advancements between our two solutions. So again, thank you for coming today. Be sure to check these out. Also, there's a survey that Citrix would encourage us to go on and fill out. I know my team's already done that. They're just looking for some information about how they can make the SDK and API development process, co-development process easier. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great day at the show.